back to For the Record. I'm your host, Loudmouth Luke, and today I'm joined by my good friend Ian Opfer. How you doing today, Ian?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me.
Today we are taking a look at the breakout smash hit album from 21 Pilots, BlurryFace. So aside from this being the album that put T.O.P. on the map, you said this is the start of the lore or the story that's told through all their albums going up to this. So before we get into the album, let's add some context to this album. What's your experience with T.O.P.? Where'd you first hear him?
So my first experience with 21 Pilots, I mean, I've definitely heard them here and there a couple of times, but my first main introduction to them was, I think, like many, was with Stressed Out. Stressed Out came out a month after my friend ended his life, and at 11 years old, it helped me sort of make sense of everything, kind of how to work through with the grieving process, because I'm as an 11-year-old autistic child, you're high emotions as it is. So definitely listening through Stressed Out, and then of course in turn listening to the entirety of BlurryFace definitely helped me make sense of it all. So yeah,
I remember hearing Stressed Out and Ride a lot on the radio, and my sister also really liked this album. My fun fact, my BlurryFace CD is a hand-me-down from my sister.
oh, that's amazing.
My mom and my sister actually saw them on the BlurryFace tour, actually.
Oh, that's crazy.
They were at the Walmart amp, I think.
Oh, yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, no, I'm seeing them next week. I don't know when that is, when this episode is coming out, but on the 23rd is when I'm seeing them. So it's just really cool that I'm finally getting to see them in person.
So back to the subject of the lore. Does the album as a whole tell a story?
Only certain songs do. So the lore begins with HeavyDirtySoul. HeavyDirtySoul is the first music video in the lore, because that's when we get introduced to Dima, which Dima is a manifestation of sort of being trapped in your own head, being drowned out by your emotions, and sort of essentially being a mental prison, because you don't know how to get out. You want to get out, but you don't know how to. It's also when we get introduced to the character of Clancy, though he's not named yet. And Clancy's a stand-in for Tyler Joseph, and it's also a stand-in for the fans or the clique. The clique's basically with Clancy running away from Dima. It's basically you breaking free from your mental prison and finding new way in life.
Yeah, so I've listened to this album before. I listened to it in 2021, and I remembered enjoying it, but I don't really remember much else aside from the fact that, I thought it was good.
Yeah.
So I was very interested to re-listen to this with some of that context in mind. I didn't watch any of the music videos or anything going in, so I kind of tried to put the pieces together with the songs, which we'll get to that in a minute. Overall, I was never super into them. I heard a lot of their songs in passing, and I remember enjoying the stuff I heard. It's weird because T.O.P. is a band you either love or hate, and there's no in between.
There's no in between.
Which is, unless you you don't really know their stuff.
Right. So you can't really love or hate that. Yeah, no. When I hear context of T.O.P., I've either see people absolutely enjoying it, hecked out obsessed with them I am, versus at downright haters. I've never seen a flat middle ground with them.
I was very interested in seeing how I could piece everything together, so let's take our time onto the ride. This is BlurryFace. So the first song we have is HeavyDirtySoul, and like you mentioned, this was the first song that started telling a story. I still really like this one. I think it has some of the coolest instrumentation on the album so far. Although I do think the quick switch ups can be a little distracting.
I can probably see that.
I think that it does. The dark sounding parts could be seen as this constant anxiety, this constant depression. And the more upbeat parts being please help me, please reach out, or some kind of form of cautious optimism.
Oh yeah, and I think with the music, because I'm getting into the music video again during the music video, so it's Tyler or Clancy driving away from Dima in this like car. It has no driver in the front seat. Throughout the music video, the car just starts getting increasingly more damaged. It starts smoking. That's kind of like sort of symbolizing Tyler's mental state, kind of like destabilizing, cracking up. And then eventually at the end, when the car bursts into flames and it explodes, that's basically like, oh shit, like mental, like I also kind of like I don't know if that's the right word, kind of like attribulate, is that the right word? The song as a whole, like, with a panic attack. So like the really fast parts is like your mind racing back and forth.
Yeah.
And like the slow parts, like you're calm, but you're also like, okay, where do I go from here? Like
that's what I was thinking also. And I think also the death inspires me like a dog line. That's inspired by the rabbit's inspired to just keep going and just keep moving forward out of fear of what could happen. And I think that's what Tyler was trying to say with that line.
Oh yeah, no, I definitely do agree with that. And I think when I think of classic 21 Pilots, Heavy Dirty Soul is one of the songs that instantly comes to mind. Just because, I mean, it's like that classic style. It's hard to describe, but yeah.
Overall, I really like this song, and next one is probably their biggest hit, Stressed Out, and I do enjoy this one, but because of how often I hear it on my work radio and how often I heard it, I get a little bit of PTSD.
No, that's definitely understandable. I mean, like I said earlier, it's like mine and a lot of others' introduction to the group, and it's also actually the song that won them a Grammy in 2017. I mean, there's not really much to say that hasn't been said already. It's just, I mean, it definitely tackles wanting to turn back time when, like, wish we could turn back time to the good old days. It's just
it's reminiscing on a lot of, back when you didn't have a lot of responsibilities or anything.
And like the nostalgia for childhood, and yeah.
Which is something I think most people can relate to.
Oh yeah.
I noticed the BlurryFace line. Is this also telling a story too, or?
It's part of it, definitely. So it's not when we it's not the first song we hear BlurryFace in. It's not when we get introduced to it, because Fairly Local, which is, we'll get to Fairly Local, came out before Stressed Out. So it's Fairly Local when we get introduced to BlurryFace, and I'll get more into BlurryFace and the Bishops when we get to Fairly Local, but BlurryFace definitely is like an important figure in the lore.
Overall, I do like this one, and it is a little overplayed, but I do think it's popular for a reason.
Oh yeah.
So let's get to another song that gives me even more PTSD, Ride. Now, this is one I just think is okay. It's not objectively like bad or anything. I just feel like in comparison to a lot of the other songs from them I heard, it just doesn't really do a lot for me.
That's fair. I mean, this is the other song when I think of classic 21 Pilots, this is the other song I can really think of that immediately comes to my mind. I do really enjoy it. It's I mean, yeah, I think it's probably on my lower end of the BlurryFace ranking. But that doesn't mean it's a bad song.
No, I don't think it's a bad song at all. It's just for me, in comparison to a lot of other stuff I've heard, instrumentally there's not a lot interesting that's going on. Yeah. I do like the thinking too much part. I like I've been thinking, yeah. That part always makes me, because I think the central theme of the song is like trying to distract yourself from what's going on in your life.
Oh yeah.
So does that play a part in the story at all?
Ride, I mean, I have to like refresh, but I don't believe Ride is part of the lore. But I do like the themes and the tones of the song, because it's like you have to take time through like life's choices, and you're just basically here for the ride of life. It's just like, and like the sign, like questioning what you would live or what you would die for, definitely like that definitely hits hard too.
I definitely see that as kind of like the lyrics are about trying to balance distracting yourself from what's going on in your life to what is going on, and like what's the fine balance. And that's where I think the I've been thinking too much part really is further emphasized.
Oh yeah. I think when I was re-listening to this album in preparation for this, it definitely hit that I've been thinking too much.
The next one is one I like a lot, and that's Fairly Local. I think the instrumental being really laid back is an interesting choice. I like the little beep, 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 beep. I love little synth sounds.
Oh yeah, and that's, I think Fairly Local is my favorite song to just scream out loud and play with my vocals. I won't do it right here because my voice is a little strained at the moment, but I just love screaming the "I'm fairly local." Like I love doing that. This is like a weird thing. I also kind of associate the song with Joplin. I'm local to this place. I've been around, and like I know that's not like the essential themes of the song because it's more or less about Tyler's struggles with like mental health, like talking to other people that are going through the same things, and like, oh, you're struggling mentally? Yeah, me too. I've been here. Again, this is the song that actually introduced BlurryFace.
That's what I was thinking because of like I've seen the street you're walking down. That was the line of like, and also the deep voice too. The like, is that supposed to be BlurryFace?
That's supposed to be BlurryFace. Yeah.
That's what I was wondering because that's throughout the album too.
So basically, BlurryFace, and actually, I'll just get into like the bishops right here. The bishops are basically a representative like of your fears, your insecurities, your doubts, physical manifestations of them, and Tyler or Clancy running away from them is just you fighting back and running from,
As I mentioned previously, I think one of the central themes of this album is like fear and self-doubt, and that's why I think with BlurryFace saying this song will never be on the radio, is that like him trying to get to Clancy and be like, oh, you can't achieve what you want.
It's basically like that's another thing like about BlurryFace. It's like he's like a manifestation of self-doubt and saying like, oh, you'll never amount to anything, you'll never make it. And I think me as a creative definitely resonates with me a lot. It's like I'm sure you agree too, fighting our self-doubts and not listening to the voices in our head.
Yeah. It's very hard to silence your inner critic, and I do think with that in mind, that concept is very intriguing in the way it's presented here.
Oh yeah.
I jokingly call mine Sheldon, and he's the bookworm from Toy Story.
Oh yeah. That's
Overall, I like this one. I think it's the most interesting one we have so far. And up next is probably my favorite, Tear in My Heart. This song is so much fun.
This song is so much fun. I love this song. I think the line, I'm driving here, I sit cursing my government for not using my taxes to fill holes with more cement. I don't mean to like get into like political stuff right now, but like, God, that is so relevant right now.
Yeah.
To me, yeah.
Or just like me when I use my taxes for things that are objectively not important currently.
Yeah.
Regardless, is this song, I remember reading or hearing this somewhere. Is it about Tyler's wife or girlfriend?
Mm-hmm. So usually on every album, there's at least one song that's about Jenna.
That's Tyler's wife, I'm assuming?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. There's at least one song on every album that's about Jenna, and Tear in My Heart is that song on BlurryFace. There's not a lot of things I can resonate personally because I've never been in a long-term relationship, nor am I like interested at the moment. I think one message that I like that resonates with me a lot is like emotional vulnerability with your partner. Mm-hmm. Not only with your partner, but friends, your people around you.
Yeah.
But yeah, that I think Tear in My Heart is a really good song, and it yeah. Yeah.
I remember always thinking the taste of music in your face line was like really lame, but on listen, now that I'm like in a really happy relationship, I think that line is very charmingly cheesy.
Oh yeah,
because I say corny things like that to my partner all the time.
Oh yeah, no, and of course, like again, like I can't really I can't talk on it too much because I'm not in a relationship at the moment, but I think the people I talk to that are in a relationship, you included, say that Tear in My Heart is really resonates with them a lot, and I think that's really beautiful.
The next one we got up is Lane Boy, and this is another one of my personal favorites. The instrumentation is another highlight for me.
This is such a good song.
I like the little plucky guitar.
Oh yeah.
And I'm guessing this is another more straightforward song because there isn't a lot of like, because it's more just I'm gonna do what I want.
It's rejecting expectations from the music industry, basically doing stuff that's outside the norm, and I think that's what they do best, is they do what's outside the norm. They do what you don't expect. from the music industry, and I think it can also be applied to any sort of creative industry. Me, like, getting into voice acting or acting in general, like, you really have to defy the norms to stand out. And I think that's what they're doing here with this album as a whole, and that's why I do really love Lane Boy.
I also like the faster part near the end. Do you think there's any thematic purpose in that, or do you think they just did it for funsies?
Probably for funsies, but also, let's be real, it's probably to probably like another symbolism of like panic attack.
Yeah, that could be like, you know, that could be like writer's block.
Like writer's block, or like your heart racing, like holy shit, like what do I do here? Yeah.
It's another really good song. The next one is one I have kind of conflicting feelings about. I don't think it's bad by any means, but it's one I used to really like, and I don't like it as much on re-listen, which is The Judge.
I will go ahead and say it right now, The Judge is my favorite.
It's more just that set me free. That annoys me sometimes.
Oh man, that's my favorite part. I love it.
Like, it doesn't annoy me all the time, but I feel like it can.
No, that's understandable. Basically, like, with The Judge, it's like struggles with, you know, being judged, and I can resonate with so much because I can just relate the meanings of the song to my own life. You know, being bullied a lot during high school, but I was just bullied for just constantly just being myself and being unapologetic about it. But nowadays, I could care less what people think about me. But it's also about like looking at your past wrongdoings and wanting to be set free from them and just grow towards being a better human being. And I think that's a powerful message about the song.
Yeah, I took this literally. I thought, I didn't think it was a song about actually being in like trial or something, but
oh yeah,
I do think there was like a specific person who was judging Tyler, or I guess Clancy in this context, depending on what way you want to look at it.
Basically, yeah, struggled with guilt, struggling with your morality, kind of just like you're in a court scene in your own head, like your brain's the judge, you're on trial, just be you. And I think the themes of wanting redemption and forgiveness and battling intrusive thoughts, that's just why I love the song so much, and that's why I just see myself in it.
Yeah, I can relate to that also. I like the slow little chorus bridge thing before it speeds back up again. I think that's another way of symbolizing possible like depression or internal thoughts. And
yeah, like battling your thoughts inside your head. Like, yeah, it's a beautiful song, and it is definitely my favorite on the album.
I think it is very good. Again, it's just sometimes that, I don't know if I'd call it like a falsetto, but that kind of like on listen, I'm like, bruh, you could have just said free.
Oh yeah.
But again, I like it, but it's not one I see myself going back to often. But the next one is one that kind of surprised me. The next one we have up is Doubt. I think it has the most interesting instrumental. It has almost kind of a house or a trap sort of beat.
Oh yeah.
Mainly from the 808 drum machine that is used.
This is the first mention of the bishops in the lore. Kind of what I went over earlier when we were talking about Fairly Local. The bishops are like physical manifestations of your self-doubt, your fears, your insecurities. So this is when, and of like taking doubt literally, destructive nature of self-doubt and not fully believing in yourself. But it's kind of also about being disconnected from God or like from faith. I'm not a religious person, but I can kind of relate to it going back to when I was in the church. I didn't feel like I belonged there really. I felt like I was just there, if that makes any sense. So definitely I do associate this with like religion and also the fear of being forgotten.
That's what I was going to talk about. I think that fear of being left behind expands on a lot of the themes that were from a lot of the other tracks previously.
Oh yeah.
Further emphasizing that like anxiety.
Definitely like, yeah, being forgotten by those who love you, your friends, your family, hell, even yourself. I've definitely struggled with that a lot, and I think Doubt does a really good job. It's definitely my top 3 of the album for sure.
It was one that really surprised me. I really like it.
Oh, yeah.
The next one we have up is Polarize. I think like the last one, there's a lot of trap and a lot of like house influence in the instrumentation.
Oh yeah.
I think it kind of expands on the fear and isolation themes of the last song. And I really like that part where Tyler gets loud at the end. I thought that was awesome.
Oh yeah, no, that part's amazing. I think a lyric that really resonates with me in the song, I want to be a better brother, better son. That's what I was
going to talk about.
Yeah.
I think it expands on those fears.
Because again, it expands on feeling forgotten by those around you. Because I constantly think to myself, like, am I a good son to my mom and dad? Am I a good brother to my sister? Hell, I can even extend it. Am I a good uncle to my niece and nephew? Struggling with wanting to change, but you just feel trapped by your inner demons and like the voices in your head. And I think a lot of it also is like trying to make peace with your past mistakes.
Yeah, I can see that.
And like the guilt that comes along with them. I mean, I know for sure I definitely do struggle a lot with those. That's why Polarize is a really good song, and I do agree the instrumental is top tier. I love it.
The next one we have is We Don't Believe What's on TV. I like this one. I think it's fun to listen to. I have to ask, what is up with the lyric about selling hair? What is that supposed to mean?
I still haven't fully like figured that out. I think
because listening to it, I was like, what are you talking about?
Money selling your hair. I think like a main message about the song is not trusting what you see in the media. I think going back to Lane Boy, kind of rejecting the societal norms.
Yeah, I think it expands on a lot of the themes there of just, I want to do what I want to do. I'm not going to conform to anything.
Yeah, because that's how it is in this industry, music industry, acting field, any creative field. You have to do your own thing to stand out, and you should not go with the societal norms.
It's a good one. It's not really one that I love, but I do like. I think it's very fun to listen to.
100%.
Next one we got up is Message Man, and I think it's one of the more interesting songs. That electric organ in the intro is awesome.
No, for real.
Felt like I was in a Castlevania game.
No, literally, it does a really good job at setting the mood of the song. I think it really talks about the power of how words can affect you.
I was about to say, does this song talk about the BlurryFace character? Because I know there was the line about the mask in the beginning.
Somewhat. I kind of see it as like me being on the spectrum, like having a mask in public. I know people can like interpret it different. That's the beauty of art and music. It's subjective. You can interpret it however you want. But Message Man, I do enjoy it. I'm just not the highest on it, but it is definitely a really good song. I enjoy it.
I think it does. Again, I think it's one of the more intriguing ones, especially from an instrumental standpoint. It's very atmospheric.
It does a really good job. Like I said, it does a really good job of like setting the tone of the song.
Coming up next, we got is Hometown. So do the lyrics play a part in the lore, or is this a song just about thinking your hometown sucks?
The latter.
Okay.
The latter.
I mean, hey, does that mean 21 Pilots is pop punk now? That's a part of the pop punk starter pack.
Exactly. So this is another song that I do heavily associate with Joplin. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like feeling trapped by your own mind and the environment you're in, not really feeling like you don't really have a safe space to go to, because everywhere you go, you just associate with trauma and memories. And we're like the line, our hometown's in the dark.
I was thinking about that because I at first, again, because I was trying to pay attention to certain lines that made me feel like they were trying to tell a story or set up a background or something. That made me wonder is the town or the universe, I guess, so to speak, the TMU, the 21 Pilots music universe, is that I thought that was kind of like, oh, this place is dark, it's like dystopian, it's...
I guess if you really want to associate with the lore, I guess hometown could be considered Dima. But when I think of the line, our hometown's in the dark, I think about Joplin after the tornado.
Yeah.
Because it quite literally was in the dark for a while. We didn't know what the hell's going on. We don't know what's going on. But I think going back to the core meanings of it, feeling trapped by your own environment, or darkness, your inner demons, your inner thoughts just following you all the way back home. You never can escape them, essentially.
Yeah.
That's why I think Hometown is my second favorite on the album.
I do like this one a lot. it's about a relatable subject, because I think most people who live in like a small town are like, man, this place sucks, I want to go somewhere cool.
No, for real. And especially me as like a queer person in like predominantly red area. Yeah, this is not the place for me.
That little chiptune moment near the end is cool, but it sounds really goofy and out of place.
Yeah.
There were like those little like pixely sounds near the end.
No, I can agree to that.
It doesn't like ruin it for me, but at first I was like, bruh, I'm not in a Super Nintendo game.
But yeah, no, Hometown is on my like subsequent like re-listens. Hometown is the one like I replayed over and over again, along with The Judge. I forgot to mention that when we were talking about The Judge.
Yeah, it's a good one. The next one we got up is Not Today, and I like this one, but I don't really see myself going back to it a lot. I gotta talk about Tyler was kind of breaking the fourth wall in the first verse, and that's very off-putting and like distracting.
Yeah.
Not a bad thing. Is that supposed to represent something?
I think kind of again like breaking out of like the norms. The main message I kind of get from this song is like, hey, I'm still alive. I'm not giving up. Like not today. Like there's millions of times that I've wanted to give up, but I never did. Like I told my inner thoughts, my inner demons, like, hey, not today. We're not doing this right now.
Yeah, I think that's also the meaning I got from it.
And like, yeah, just choosing to keep going even when like you really don't want to.
I like the part at the end that sounds like a marching band.
Oh yeah, no, that I did really.
I think that could be seen as a metaphor for just keep marching on, keep going.
Oh yeah, and I think also using humor and music as like a coping mechanism to like shield you against life, basically.
The last song we have is Goner, and this is a really interesting one, and I find it interesting they ended the album with this song because it's very somber and it's kind of depressing.
They do that with all of them, with all the albums. It always ends with a very slow song, a very sad song. Literally my first note on here for Goner is, oh boy. That's literally the first thing I have written down. The way I see it is like you just feel defeated by your depression, anxiety, recognizing your two faces. You have your public face and then you in private, and like those just clashing together. You're so desperate to just stay alive, and even when you feel like you can't. And I think I find myself going back to Goner when I'm like really in that headspace. Like I have a playlist of like Sad Boy Hours is literally what it's called.
Real.
Goner's the first song in that playlist. And I think Goner is the song flashback 10 years ago when the suicide was fresh. Goner was the one that finally broke me and kind of helped me keep going, if that makes any sense. But no, Goner is just a really beautiful song, and I really can't help but cry every time I listen to it.
Yeah, I always got the message of hopelessness and wanting validation. Do you think this is a more straightforward song, or do you think it plays into the story at all?
I think it's more straightforward. Only a few songs actually play into the lore. Usually, like if a song has a music video is the first telltale sign that it's part of the lore. But also if it like directly name drops like Clancy, Dima, bishops.
Yeah, I remember the bishops, and I was like thinking, is this like a chess metaphor? Or...
Oh yeah. But no, I think Goner is more like a straightforward song. But yeah, no, it's really beautiful.
I like the part near the end where it gets like super loud, and I feel like that could be seen as like the voices in Tyler's head just being like, get me out of here.
Like get out. Yeah. No, I definitely do agree with that.
It's not really one I see myself visiting often, but I do think it is a really solid conclusion.
Oh yeah, 100%. A really like a nice 10 out of 10 ending to an album.
Overall, I think that BlurryFace is solid. It's filled with a lot of experimental instrumentation and overall musicianship. However, I honestly, because again, I didn't listen or I didn't watch the music videos, I feel like there should have maybe been a more cohesive story, or like maybe rearrange the tracks in a different way to tell a more cohesive story, because
I could see that.
if you, I think it goes from like, it was like fairly local to Tear My Heart, like right next to each other.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I think all the songs are very good. They're all very well made, but I think I'd probably rearrange the track listing a little bit.
I would, yeah, no, I could see that.
Because sometimes you're just like, I just be making songs. But again, I think with the context of trying to like build a world and build a story, I maybe would have rearranged to have the more straightforward songs at a later part, or maybe just have them in a way that like it's more tonally cohesive.
Yeah.
Unless the theme was like, you know, going back and forth.
That's what I kind of thought when I was like re-listening to it. Like you go from like really upbeat with We Don't Believe What's on TV, and then you go into Message Man and it's like, oh,
yeah.
like oh, it's getting real. I think I have like something written down for another song. I also really like when like some of the songs go from like they're like really upbeat, but when you really like analyze the lyrics, it's like, oh,
yeah,
it's like I really like when they do that. It's like that makes it like when even like the really upbeat songs make me cry.
Yeah, I think also, since this is the only album of theirs I've listened to, if I listen to probably more of their later stuff, some of the songs that I feel like were out of place could have some extra context.
Oh yeah, there's definitely some added context. So fairly local, there's a line, the few the proud, the emotional, that comes back in Clancy, the album Clancy. Mm-hmm. There's also several instances where lyrics get reused in upcoming albums, so I would definitely like go out and like listen to Trench, listen to Scaled and Icy.
I'd say my ranking is about a heavy 7 to a light 8. I think it's pretty solid.
Oh yeah.
It's not, again, some of the songs for me, I wouldn't say they're bad, they just don't really do a lot for me.
Oh yeah.
I think that like TOP's style either really works for me or it really doesn't, and it really depends on the song.
I can totally agree, because like I love them, like they mean a lot to me. Like of course I discovered them at a very important time, but I do understand some of the criticisms. I can definitely understand a lot of that. It's definitely a very experimental style.
Yeah.
And I can totally get where some people come from when they say, oh, it's not really my thing. But
yeah. I think it's weird because like I do think there is a lot of mainstream appeal in their sound, but I also think they're very experimental at the same time.
And I think
because I hear people call them NPC core all the time. And I'm like, I don't agree with that. I think, again, you know, I do agree that their sound has a lot of mainstream appeal.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there's a reason why Stressed Out won them a Grammy. Like, and they've been close. And, like, of course, then it catch the attention from DC and made them do Heathens. And then Riot Games, which led them to do The Line for Arcane. They definitely have a lot of mainstream appeal. And I do think they've been robbed at a couple of award shows, but that's a conversation for another day.
Well, thank you for being on the show, Ian.
Yeah, of course. It was so much fun.
That wraps up another episode of For the Record. Hope to see you all again next week, and I hope you all have a great night.
Peace.